Hello and welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. And the season is here, and it's tradition in Germany to make Glühwein. So what is Glühwein? Glühwein is a wine that is spiced with different spices, here with cinnamon and anise and cloves, star anise, Chinese anise, cloves, nutmeg. So, and you boil this up, you drink it warm. Usually you go onto a Christmas fair or some Christmas market, and there are all these little booths where you can buy the Glühwein. The actual translation would be the glowing wine, because it's so warm and everybody drinks it to get warmed up and have a nice taste of wine with this, with enough spice in it. And what there is also is you have Glühwein mit Schuss, which is just boosted up with some spirit. And this some spirit in our case will be whiskey. Usually you do it with some German fruit schnapps or corn or other German distillates. But we're going to use a very smoky Scotch whiskey. We're going to use a high-class Scotch whiskey that is more with sherry casks and more with a fruity note, and we're going to use an American rye for the spiciness. So let's begin. Glühwein, very easy. You just take a full bottle of wine, pour it into your pot, and you start heating it. And now it comes to the spices. There are many different recipes, and you have many different spices to add. Depending on your flavor, you can make your Glühwein the way you want to. My personal favorite, cinnamon. Got it when I visited the Amrun distillery in India. Then we have the star anise, not commonly used spice in Germany. I don't know how of the rest of the world, if you know this thing. It's also called the Chinese anise. One of them per bottle. And then we have cloves. Some of them grind them down. I don't. I like them. I don't love them. And then you can, for your own taste, you can use a bit of nutmeg as well. So you put that in your just a teeny amount, just to spice it up a little. And then you come to the question, what do you do with the orange? You add an orange in there. Some people add the orange as, what do you call it? You grind it down, and some people cut it down and boil it with it. This time in the German take, I did the zest, and in the English take, I'm now gonna cut it down. So we boil it with everything. So maybe it becomes a bit milder because you have more of the juice going into your Glühwein and less of the zest of the peel. So there you go. So there you go. Maybe a bit much for that small pot. Usually you fill up your pot so the whole top is covered. In my case, it's a bit much, but we're gonna have it a bit more fruity then. So during the tasting, when we do the tasting with the whiskey, then I'm gonna have Horst do it with me, and we're gonna have two different recipes. The German one, a bit milder, a bit more on the wine side, and here a bit more on the spices and a bit more on the fruity side. So, very excited. Now for the timing. Usually the idea is longer is better, and some recipes even say you have to boil it up and then let it rest for 2 days to be a really good Glühwein. Other recipes say, you're gonna do a quarter an hour, then you can serve it, or most of the recipes go into, let's say, an hour or two. And I will probably stick to an hour or two. And then, you will just see me in the next scene, so see you then. So, welcome back. Welcome, Horst. And we're gonna try the Glühwein now. It's ready. I actually made 2 pots of Glühwein. One in a German take, which is a bit less spicy. I did it without nutmeg and just the peel of the orange. So we're gonna look at a bit of a zesty kind of type. And the other one had the whole slices of the orange in there, so we're looking at a bit of a more fruity, juicy one, and you have nutmeg, so it's gonna be a bit more intense all the way. So, you ready for the Glühwein?
No. Glühwein is never one of my favorite. I had Glühwein several years ago, a decade or 2, and I had a headache. You can't believe it.
Yeah.
So hot wine with sugar in it. And
I left out the sugar.
you left out the sugar. Very good. And I think you can drink wine in a better way
fashion
than hot. But Glühwein typically for a classic Christmas market like we have in Rothenburg up to Tauber or in Munich. So it's
usually it has
Nuremberg.
Yeah, Nuremberg is very special. Yeah. Usually it has to be cold. You have to be shivering, and then you get your Glühwein, and that's so nice and warm. And then it tastes
in Germany, it's very environmental protection. You can't have those plastic cups any longer. You have to have the ceramics mugs. And in Germany, you have to know they have washing machines, dishwashers. With no fresh water. They're just recycling the water in it, and sometimes you get a cup and there's lipstick still on it. Some infection.
Yeah, you can have that, or which booth you have to go to get the ones which don't have the recycling water. And some people actually, if you don't buy for the whole group and you just come with your mug, say, just fill it up. Yeah, that's the way you
have your own.
The professionals go to the Christmas
or
market.
you go to a store, buy a fresh mug there. There are everywhere Christmas mugs, and then you're fine.
Okay, so first we're gonna try a little bit milder one.
Mm-hmm. So first we have without alcohol. So this is completely without alcohol, just hot wine with those spices.
The wine has alcohol in it. You mean without whiskey?
Yeah.
there's still alcohol in it.
Yeah.
And because of the heat, it's a bit more intense. I really made Glühwein. I was afraid that the spices wouldn't get into it, but
it's a real Glühwein, yes.
Yeah, the spices kick in.
So this is typically you have at the booth you have a punch, which is a Glühwein without wine.
Isn't that
for children without alcohol in it?
I think they call it bowl, or the Americans and the English. I don't know.
The other one is the real one, where you have wine with alcohol and add spirits.
Oh.
So it's a dry wine.
Yeah, dry wine. Definitely dry wine.
And there's this orange peel definitely there. But the
there's
cinnamon,
orange peel.
Did you have orange cinnamon in it?
The cinnamon, yes, one roll. A bit more than you would usually use, but I only cooked it for 2 hours. Usually you have it on for days. I don't think they.
But then there's no alcohol left.
I don't think they empty the pot. They just put in more spices, more wine, fill it up, and just boil it all day long.
Here we go. It's a classic Glühwein.
And I used a bottle of Glühwein. I was at the supermarket, and you can have the Tetra Pak, the very, very cheap one with the best wines of Europe blended together for 69 cents the liter. But I chose a bit better from, what was it, Romania or something like that?
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, you can smell it.
You can smell it, and it's good. It's increasing.
Mm-hmm. But it's a very strong grapey flavor.
Oh, I think this time I have more in it than you.
Yeah.
So the grapey flavor is away. I have more Dalwhinnie in it. Yeah.
It's good, but it's a bit more intense.
Yeah, and this is this Dalwhinnie with a dry aftertaste.
Yeah, very dry aftertaste.
Yeah. So probably you have to add a few spoons of sugar, but then be careful.
Headache. Headache. People usually love it with more sugar.
Yeah.
I'm not that kind of sweet guy to just sweeten it up that much.
Yeah. Okay.
There you go. So spicy one next.
Yes, please. Red wine drops on your cask. Weird.
That stains. Yeah, it's one advantage point of whiskey. You don't get stains everywhere when you drop whiskey.
Much better.
Much better?
Much better. A lot more spicy.
Yeah. More spice, and you get the nutmeg, and you get fruitiness. I got lots of fruitiness.
Yeah. So it's the juice. It's the orange juice. You should have opened the window. It's quite cold outside. Make it more authentic.
So let's try the rye. I'm excited how the spiciness kicks in. Are you gonna go with Dalwhinnie again?
Yep. So, but I don't think that we will have all the permutations.
I will have one Lagavulin. Oh, that's intense. That's like a cereal bowl. Like when you have breakfast and instead of water or milk, you use wine. You use wine. Cereal with wine.
It's really different. So one is. It's just like the first one, but a little bit more intense.
This one is quite intense with a lot of cereals.
I like this one very much. It's the best mixture. The Dalwhinnie Distillers Edition. So this one is matured not only in hogsheads and ex-American bourbon barrels, but as well in sherry casks. So this one brings the sherry tastes in as well, and really a lot of it, and 15 years, so it's not that intense or sharp, so it's mature and old, and this combines with the wine quite well.
And for the ones who like it a bit more spicy, that's the mixture. I took a cask strength one, so you really get a bit of a intensity with the alcohol and the warmth, so the alcohol gets a bit more volatile, and you really do have a lot of taste in there, right?
Right.
You have that spiciness, you have that,
and the
wine.
The rye gives really a point.
Yeah, but for me that one was better than the first one.
Okay, with the Dalwhinnie. so now it's
my last try with the Lagavulin.
So I had some chocolates, which my wife made with apple in it. I think it was wonderful. Pralines, the whiskey in it, and the other one was with Kalila 12 years. It was so awful. It was really uneatable. It was so the chocolate taste does not combine well with a smoky aroma for me.
It was always an excitement to eat it. It was always like, the Lagavulin. Was it Lagavulin? No, Kalila. Yeah, it was Kalila. Yeah, I like the Balvenie as well. That was awesome. Oh, that goes straight into your nose and straight into your brain. Smokiness. It's like a warm Christmas ham with, I don't know, drenched in wine.
It does not fit. No.
It's just every side, every spectrum is too intense in that smell.
But we had one before, and this one you have added less than before. So if you use smoky whiskey, not too much of it.
Oh yeah. So yeah. Yeah, it's just usually you have a good balance, and this This one is just high. You have high smokiness, that sourness from the wine, and also a bit of alcohol because it's all a bit more volatile at that temperature. Whoa, that one's a bit too strong for me. I would say the best one for me was the rye.
Yeah, and if you're going to a Christmas market, then please have your personal flask with you.
Hip flask.
Add your whiskey of your choice, and then head for the booth with the children's wine. There's no alcohol in it.
Yeah.
And then you add your preferred whiskey to it, and then you're really fine.
Only in your glass.
Only in your personal glass or mug you bring with you.
Because then you get much more for yourself. Nah, save the children. Okay, yeah. You got something else?
Nope.
No. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you found this interesting. Bit of German culture. And maybe next year we're gonna do the eggnog. Probably. Maybe. I don't know. So thank you very much for watching.